What's your craziest? I never thought I'd ever be a Christian story, either from yourself or someone you knew. Oh man, I had a friend in school named Sarah who came to our Christian group during lunch, then totally flipped and became an outspoken atheist. She was all about debating God at every party. Fast forward to senior year, she went to a Christian camp, opened up a Bible our school gave out, and the first thing she read was the parable of the lost sheep. It just clicked for her, and she turned her life around right there. I grew up in a Hindu family where Christianity was looked down upon. Never in a million years did I think I'd become a Christian initially. I was attracted to Pentecostalism but kept my distance from Calvinism. Funny how God works, I was eventually led out of Pentecostalism and into the Reformed faith. Still learning, but I finally understand God's love in a way I never did before. I was raised in a Christian home, but when I hit college, I went totally off the rails. Drugs, girls, parties, you name it. Became a hardcore atheist and loved debating anyone who would listen. Then one night I went to a campus Bible study, probably just to argue, but instead the Holy Spirit hit me like a ton of bricks. I gave my life to Christ right there. Grew up in a super strict Dutch Reformed home. I rebelled hard, spent every youth retreat getting into trouble. Fast forward 30 years and one of my old delinquent friends is now a pastor, and I'm an elder in our church. Funny how God turns things around, right? Meanwhile, my sister, who was always the good one, is now a militant atheist. Life is weird. I went to Liberty University and heard David Nasser speak. His story is wild. He was from a Muslim family, fled Iran, and ended up in high school here in the States. A friend invited him to church, mostly because the most popular girl in school went there. His dad surprisingly allowed it because the church had helped out at his dad's restaurant when it was understaffed. Nasser eventually gave his life to Christ, got kicked out of his house, but years later, his whole family came to Christ. I knew a guy named Mark who had a friend with benefits in college who kept talking to him about Jesus. He started going to church because of her, even though she was pretty inconsistent in her faith. They eventually broke things off, but he kept going to church and eventually became a Christian. Years later, she apologized for being a bad witness. But it's crazy how God can still use messed up situations. When I first started evangelizing my best friend in college, he told me if I kept talking about religion, our friendship was over. But then he started dating a girl from our Bible study. She told him they couldn't be together unless they were equally yoked. So he started coming to church with me. Long story short, he became a Christian. Broke up with her because she wasn't as serious about her faith, and then became a missionary and a Muslim.